In Babson College, there's this class during freshman year. It's called FME, I think. And then the second half, they give you $3,000 for you to actually go out and run that business.
Whoa.
I was really fortunate that my team members and I, we competed and we won. So we were the final two companies in the business.
It's an actual physical place. It's
Yes.
a place that you get to go and live in
Yes.
with other 20 people.
You know, and there were people who were earning like $100,000 per year at that age. I think the highest earner was like $40 million per year.
What?
And they're like 20, 21.
Wow.
ไปดูลูกบ้านนู้นสิว่าเขามีนิ้วมากกว่าเราหรือเปล่า ถ้าเกิดมีนิ้วเท่ากันเขาทำได้เราก็ต้องทำได้
I love how your grandma taught you grit before it was cool. And I love how your mom was your personal Shark Tank.
When people buy a house, you know, usually a lot of people would be able to buy maybe one house in their lifetime. So we want to make sure that our product is of the highest quality as possible. That's going to give them the best life possible over the next 30 years.
จากข้อมูลหลังบ้านเราพบว่า 70% ของคนดูรายการคำนี้ดีฟีเจอริงไม่ได้กดเปิดซับไตเติลครับไม่แน่ใจเหมือนกันว่าเพราะว่าคุณไม่ได้ต้องการซับไตเติลหรือคุณไม่รู้ว่าเรามีซับไตเติลให้ด้วยนะครับจริงๆแล้วเรามีให้2ภาษาเลยทั้งไทยแล้วก็อังกฤษเปิดใช้บริการกันได้นะครับถ้าสมมุติเกิดดูอยู่บนมือถือให้กดปุ่ม CC ที่ขวาบนถ้าสมมุติเกิดดูอยู่ที่แล็ปท็อปนะครับให้กดเครื่องหมายไอคอนของคำบรรยายที่มุมขวาล่างกดเลยนะครับคุณบอลวริญญา welcome to the show
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you. And it's great that you can join us at the Standard K&D today. First of all, let me tell the audience why I'm so excited that you're here talking with us today. Number one, he's a young CEO, which is actually not that very rare these days. It used to be rare before, but now we have a lot of young CEOs out there, right? But what makes him special is his journey and his stories, which you'll get to hear in a moment, all right? And secondly, he went to the Babson College, MIT, and Harvard. We're all familiar with the last two, but did you know that Babson College is ranked number one in entrepreneurship? And it's also best known for family business management, which is the best place for you to go because you're the second generation of Prinsiri, right?
Right.
The property development public company that has been in the business for 25 years now. Right. And I've heard that his mom actually didn't even want him to take over the business at first. But how did he end up doing it anyway? You'll soon find out, all right? And also, speaking of Babson, you told me about eTower, which is the new thing for me. I never knew that it existed before, and it's a very exciting concept. So, okay, so far, we've heard lots of words spoken about you, but those are my words. Now, let's hear yours. One word or more that best sums up who you are. What would that be?
Forward-thinking optimist.
Forward-thinking optimist.
Right.
Okay.
I think, so I'm very optimistic. Optimistic with people, optimistic with situations, and optimistic with the future. Mm-hmm. And, you know, interestingly, I often find myself daydreaming about the future. Uh-huh. You know, and then like a better future, you know, a future where things are good, things are more convenient, more comfortable, things work well. And then in the daydream, I often... The force behind the better future is often business and technology. Mm-hmm.
Because that would be something that you can make your dream come true.
Right.
Those are good words. Can you give me one word that describes how you felt when you first arrived in the US as a student?
Excitement. Mm-hmm. I think the word would be excitement. And
how old were you?
I think I was around 16 or 17.
Okay.
So I was entering high school, but 11th grade.
I see.
Which is actually a strange year to enter.
I know, yeah.
So most people would enter in the 9th grade.
Right.
You know, that's when high school starts.
Mm-hmm.
but it's because I didn't know anything. I was a happy-go-lucky, chill guy.
Yeah.
Right. So I didn't know that you have to prepare.
So you didn't plan all this out.
None of it. None of it. And then by the end of 8th grade, several of my best friends they left for the States to do high school in the States.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, fine. And then I stayed back in in Thailand, right, for like 9th grade and for 9th grade and 10th grade.
Yeah.
And I just had such a good time. Like life was so good, so chill, super happy. I loved my friends.
Yeah.
But then at some point, I saw myself and I felt that if I continued in this trajectory, that I was not going to end up somewhere that I want to end up. And so that's when I felt like, what, I think I should go. And so I was really excited because I initiated this. In some families, their family would force them to go.
Right.
But this is like, I want to go.
So it's for yourself and you,
Right.
you kind of took control at the moment
Right.
and you knew that your life would change from this point on for the better.
Right. And I have to thank my family for this because they're so supportive. They're like, okay, if you want to go, go. But then you got to go figure things out yourself. Which school, how to apply, the exams, just go do those things. But we'll support you.
Right. So they support you, but they don't micromanage.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. So, what was it feel like entering in the middle, like grade 11? Was it
Right.
weird or was it challenging in a way to adapt?
So the great thing is one of my best friends is actually in the school.
Oh,
So that really helped with the transition.
okay.
But one thing I realized very quickly is that I could communicate with my friends at Stevenson, which is my high school, but I just couldn't really relate in a deep way. And it's because I think our experiences growing up is different. There's some cultural barrier that you can't explain it, but you know that you can communicate, but you don't feel like, I don't know how to say it in, maybe like you don't feel the jai part,
Okay.
like really connect.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's still like an invisible wall of some sort.
Right.
Yeah.
That no one built, but it's just there.
Right, just there.
Right.
Okay. And did that wall actually and eventually come down?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
I don't
All
think
right.
so.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did find kinship in other Asian students, in other international students
I see.
who have similar experiences, English as second language, studying far away from home.
Right. Of
Yeah.
course, we stick together as
Yes.
Asian
Yes.
people, right? Represent, right? Okay. So you survived
Yes.
the 2 years in high school,
Right.
and then did you? What kind of plan did you have after that? Did you know where you would be going?
So growing up, I've always wanted to be a successful business person. I've always wanted to be successful in entrepreneurship. And Babson was one of the top schools for business and entrepreneurship.
Right.
Usually in large universities, they don't teach business in the undergraduate. They usually teach it in the graduate school. But Babson is quite unique in that it's its main focus, both undergraduate and graduate.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you knew that you have your heart set at
Right.
Babson.
Right.
Okay. Was it hard to get into Babson? How hard was it?
It was, so honestly, it was actually a backup school.
Oh.
But they replied first, and they gave me some money to go there.
Ooh,
And
you got
then-
scholarship too.
Yeah, but it's like a very small amount. It's
Okay.
not like a big deal. Yeah.
Right. But it was some sort of incentive
Right.
for you to decide.
Yeah. And then it's just because they responded so quickly, you just kind of feel like, they probably want you.
Okay.
There's that feeling. Yeah. And then afterwards, the other schools started replying, and then I had to choose. And I just felt like, Babson seems like a really good place.
And like I mentioned earlier, they are known for like business,
Right.
family business management too.
Yeah.
So in your mind at that point, are you coming back to take over your business from your mom?
Yes and no. Growing up, my mother, she's always said like, you don't have to come back, you should go do your own thing.
Oh, okay.
And she actually wants me to enter politics, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, because she's like, we're doing fine in business. We have money, right? So we don't need to cheat or steal. So then you should go into politics because you can actually help people, and you don't need to cheat because we're fine. We're set with money already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't think I don't think I should go into politics.
No, okay. All right, but she has her own like vision.
Right. She just felt like it's a good opportunity to help people. You know,
And you're in a place that where you can actually help.
Right. Yes.
Okay. All right. So Babson, that's where you went. Okay. So was it the place that you would say changed your life forever? What kind of impact did it have over you?
You know, I think that there are several moments throughout my life that I think it really changed my life trajectory. But yeah, I definitely think that Babson was one of the places that set me on this path, you know. You see, in Babson College, there's this class during freshman year. It's called FME, I think, Foundation Management Experience.
Okay.
And it's like the idea of the class is that in the first half, they would teach you all the business concepts, accounting, finance, operations, HR, IT, so on and so forth. And then the second half, they give you $3,000 for you to actually go out and run that business.
Whoa.
So this was a really famous class at Babson, you know, because it's really experiential learning.
Right.
Yeah. And the experience from that class was really profound for me. So the idea is there's 60 people in class, and then you would pair up with a group of 3, and then you would come up with a business idea and you would pitch, you know, and then if people vote for you, then you move on to the next round. And the people who are not voted through, they would join the team that got voted through.
It's like reality show.
Yeah. And then they would teach you concepts, and then you would have to incorporate those concepts in each round. And then, so as we go through the round, I was really fortunate that my team members and I, we competed and we won. So we were the final 2 companies in the business. So 30 people in each business.
Wow.
So 30 people in our business.
Right.
And so I was really proud, you know, so that first part, I was really proud that I was able to compete and then win and then elected as co-CEO of the company.
Wow.
You know, and for some reason, I felt like because I was from Thailand, I just felt like I represented my country for some reason. And I know that I don't think other people thought about it. But for me, achieving that, I just felt like it wasn't just a personal achievement, but I felt like I represented the country, you know?
Yeah.
So that part was awesome, you know, learning to compete and getting through and winning and then elected as co-CEO by your friends. The second part of actually running the business, that is like super, super challenging. So that part made the first part seem super easy.
Yeah.
You know, managing the business, the customers, you know, the product defects, trying to speed up operations, make the products reach customers faster, finding B2B customers. And the most challenging part of all really is managing your peers, this group of 30 people.
And it's all real too, that you are actually running a real business.
Right.
And whatever kind of money that you make, you get to keep?
No, we give it back to the school.
Okay, all right.
I think we actually came in second place of the whole of all the businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you know, I really learned that managing a group of peers is, you know, these are really competent people that come from all around the world, you know, with their way of working, with their cultures. So that was a really good experience.
Did it get intense?
Yeah.
Yeah, super competitive, right?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Very intense. Yeah. Because I really want to be successful, right? So I took it very seriously. And I think a lot of people took it seriously as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, I wasn't really fun to be around. Like
you weren't? What do you mean by that?
Because I was just so intense, so serious.
You were too serious, right?
Yeah, I was just so serious all the time. You know, I was like, God, I really want to be successful.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm pretty sure that my friends did really enjoy hanging out with me.
Right.
And actually, the professor for that class, and if I'm not mistaken, he was a former CFO for Pizza Hut. He actually sat down and told me that if you live your life like this, you're gonna get a heart attack by the time you're 40.
Wow.
And you know, that's when I realized, like, you know, maybe I'm taking this way too seriously.
Yeah, what a wake-up call.
Yeah.
Yeah. because he's been in the business for so long and did that change you the way you think and the way you behave around your friend?
I think after we finished that school year, then I calmed down.
Yeah.
And I became more relaxed and I got a better perspective, after the fact. Because when you're running the business, it's kind of like you're in the middle of the storm. So you can't really see yourself. You're just trying to do as best as you can.
Right. And did you see at that point that being a lot more relaxed, like going less serious, could that get you the kind of success that you wanted?
I doubt it.
Right. But you would be willing to trade that off.
I think the lesson is you need to be able to be serious when you need to be serious, and you need to be able to let go when it's time to let go.
I see.
Because if you're serious all the time, I feel really bad for people around me.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously you've learned something about relationship too, like people around you, people you work with, not just the business outcome, right?
Right. And definitely my first taste at running a business. And of course that involves people.
Right.
Yeah.
And the business that you're in right now, of course, that's people business. Even though you're building house and building like properties, but that's for people to live in, right?
Yes. Quality of life.
Right. Okay. So you've mentioned your mom and your family before. So can you give me one word that maybe they say to you besides what you've already mentioned that kind of changed the way you think forever?
There's this thing that my grandmother told my mother and my mother said it to me. And I'm paraphrasing here. So it goes something like ไปดูลูกบ้านนู้นสิว่าเขามีนิ้วมากกว่าเราหรือเปล่า ถ้าเกิดมีนิ้วเท่ากันเขาทำได้เราก็ต้องทำได้ Right? So like go look at the other house if they have more fingers than you. If not, then if they can do it, then you can do it.
And at the moment that you heard this word spoken, did you like right away get what it means?
No, I was like, huh? Like,
Fingers?
But the statement is so deceptively simple,
Yeah.
But behind it, I feel like it's got like really good concepts, at least two that I could decipher from it. And the first is like growth mindset.
Right.
I really feel like it kind of gives you that perspective that if other people can do it, then you can do it. You're not inferior. There's no reason you can't do it. And the other thing is about grit and not giving up. So kind of like if you're not able to do it, the reason is because you gave up. Because they have 10 fingers and you have 10 fingers.
Yeah.
So if you can't do it, it's because you didn't push through all the hardships.
It doesn't have to do with your ability, but it's
your
mind.
Right, and not your perseverance. Yeah, your mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, like this statement got me 50% there. So like when my mom said it, I was like, oh, okay, 50%.
Yeah.
But when I was in college, I found this article, and the article talked about this longitudinal research where they basically follow the same subjects over a long period of time. And what the research discovered was that one of the key predictors of success in a person's life is actually grit. So when I read that, the two things combined, I was like, oh my God.
Light bulbs.
Yeah, like someone punched you in the face. And then I was really shocked.
Wow.
So I was really chill growing up as a teenager. And I would have all these business ideas, and then I would pitch it to my mom, all these crazy ideas like, I want to start a bar, but no alcohol, like a milk bar.
Yeah.
And I would pitch to my mom and she'd be really supportive. She's like, that's great. Go do more research. Tell me what you need and let's do it.
Wow.
And then I would go do all these research. I would gather my friends, and after a month I would get stuck. And then I would slowly lose energy and lose interest. And then I would come up with a new idea. Like, oh, I got this new idea. It's so cool. And then the same pattern would just keep repeating, excitement of the idea. And then when I actually go do it, energy goes down and I drop it. And then new idea and then I drop it.
It's a pattern.
Right. And then so one day my mother, she said to me that, listen, son, you're not bad. You've got potential. But you're not serious enough. You're not jing jang enough. You give up too easily. And not giving up is one of the most important things if you want to be successful in life. And so that's why when I read that grit is one of the most important factors predicting success, and this is research based, you know, I just felt like I was punched in the gut. And then I literally wrote down I think in a notebook or in my phone that I have this chronic disease, like a โรคร้าย that was going to be with me for the rest of my life. And that if I don't live my life consciously and that I don't do something about it, that I was going to end up a failure. And I think that moment, you know, I think it really changed my life.
Yeah.
Being aware of that.
Yeah, it must like scare the heck out of you that you don't want to be a failure, so I need to do something about it.
Yeah, and the fact that I felt that it was never going to go away, like this was going to be with you for the rest of your life. And you got to figure something out.
Yeah. I love how your grandma taught you grit before it was cool, and I love how your mom was your personal Shark Tank. You can just go and pitch her ideas about doing business, and she actually taught you and gave you comments.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very supportive.
So cool. All right. Tell me more about eTower because we have talked before and it was so exciting to me. So if we want to talk and define what eTower, what it means to you, what's the one word that could best define it?
Actually, there's a phrase that eTower uses. So it's dreamers and doers. So that's the eTower phrase.
Right.
So it's a group of people. You got to have dreams, but then making that dream into a reality, you got to do something about it. So then it's dreamers and doers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the idea of eTower essentially is bringing a group of 21 people, I think, together to live together. And this group that really want to become successful entrepreneurs and bringing them together so that there would be a lot of interactions between all the members. And the idea is that through the interactions, there would be new ideas, there would be motivations, there would be tips, there would be recommendations, and to help the business, to help each other grow our own businesses.
Which is a great concept. And it's the actual physical place. It's a place that you get to go and live in with other 20 people.
Yes.
And what is the criteria? How do they pick 21 people to live in the tower?
So you have to apply and then you have to show some sort of track record that kind of shows that you could become successful in business. So actually a lot of eTower members were former CEOs of the FME program.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of other members were people who had businesses coming in.
Right.
You know, and there were people who were earning like $100,000 per year at that age, and there were people who were earning millions of dollars at that age. I think the highest earner was like $40 million per year.
What?
And they're like 20, 21.
Wow.
You know?
Okay. And they get to be a part of this very privileged group. And you're one of them too.
Yes, it's an honor to be in the tower, to be among these people. And it really humbles you how good they are. Yeah.
Because even when you think you're good, there are always people who are better than you, like
exactly.
10 times, 100 times better.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. And when you're in that environment, what kind of energy that did it give you?
I think it motivates you. It really motivates you, seeing all these people, they're in school, but at the same time, they're building businesses. You know, and you see them go through highs and lows. And you see that entrepreneurship isn't the glamorous thing that people make it out to be. That behind the scenes, it's just a lot of tears and a lot of sweat.
Yeah, a lot of grinds, right?
Yeah.
You have to grind and So did you start something that you actually believe that it could become a real business in the future at the time in the tower?
I started a business, but I don't even know if I should say it.
Why? Now I'm curious.
So we were in college, right? And college kids like
Right.
to party.
Uh-huh.
So the idea is, I got this idea of this supplement that basically helps with hangovers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are a lot of those available like in like convenience store
Now there
nowadays.
are. Yeah, but
yeah,
back
but
then
not
there,
back then, right?
Yeah, back then there weren't so many. And
Right.
I
And how controversial are they? Like,
no one took them because you're at a party and people give you pills.
yeah.
And they're like,
Oh,
no, I'm not taking those pills.
Yeah, that's gonna
Yeah.
get me into trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But that was your one of your ideas.
Yeah.
That you would actually did you do anything about it?
I did.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
we had a product. We sourced the product. We did packaging. We distributed. We tested.
Right.
Yeah, we, and then the test team came back pretty bad.
Yeah, it didn't go well.
Yeah,
I suppose.
no.
Okay. Was that your like very first failure in business? Or you had failed before?
Yeah, I think that would be my first failure.
Yeah.
But that would be like a mini failure, because I was still in
Okay.
college.
I see.
Yeah.
But how did you take it? Because you mentioned you were a pretty serious person. So did you take it well? The failure?
I think I did because at some point I just felt like it wasn't something that I was passionate about. But it was just something that I saw because we were in college and people were partying, but I didn't really care for it as much, So I don't think I took it that badly.
Right.
Yeah. And it also taught me that if you're going to start a business, you better be sure that you care enough about the business that you're going to stick it out
I see.
during the highs and the lows. Because don't start a business if you're not 120% in it.
So your timeline, right? You used to be at your very young age. You used to be very relaxed, very chilled, and then you got more serious because you want to be successful so bad, and then the heart attack speech comes along, and then just kind of like take you down a notch in terms of like your mentality and your like mental health too, and then your mom told you that you need to be like more serious if you want to be successful. So lots of ups and downs that I see.
Right.
So at this point, did you find the right balance yet? How serious and how relaxed you should be?
No, I don't think I even find the right balance right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's always a struggle that you have to always find the balance for.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Is that a problem for you, or you think this is just the way of, the way to the success? It looks like this.
I think that if you really want something in your life, then you have to be willing to sacrifice a lot of things to get that thing. And that's just how it is.
Right.
But oftentimes, it wouldn't even feel like a sacrifice if you really want that thing. It's like people who work all the time, they don't say that there's no work-life balance. They enjoy the work because they enjoy it. The work is their life. And so it's not like there's no time to enjoy life because they're too busy working, because they are enjoying when they're working.
Right. Okay. So you mentioned some of your business ideas, but what would be one business idea or concept that you've always loved?
It would be triple bottom line philosophy of people, planet, and profit.
Okay. We've heard about that.
So I first heard of this concept back in the early 2010s. It was a speech by one of Babson's presidents, and she was talking about, how business can be a force for good, triple bottom line philosophy of pursuing both economic impact, which is essentially profits, as well as social or environmental impact. And I just found the concept to be really powerful, because traditionally when you think about businesses, you would think about maximizing shareholder value.
Right.
That's a traditional definition.
Sure.
But this idea, it kind of flips that, and it's saying that you can pursue economic value at the same time as all these social and environmental value, and these are complementary goals. They're not competing goals. And that's really inspiring, that business can be a force for good.
So now I want you to name one person who's always been your role model or the biggest influence in your life?
I actually got two.
Okay, please.
But the first person would be my mother. You know, I think her story is so dramatic. She grew up in an immigrant family, low income immigrant family. She only graduated from 4th grade, but she fought through life and she built this small real estate company and then took it public. And today the company generates billions of baht in revenue and has tens of billions of baht in assets. So that's incredible. It's like a rags to riches story. Yeah. And, you know, I get front row seat watching all of that happening, as well as jumping in to help as well. But it's like watching a 10 season box set, you know, and actually being in there as well.
Right.
But it's really inspirational. And the thing I take away from her, the thing that I'm really impressed is her perseverance of just never giving up, you know, ท้อได้แต่ไม่ถอย and her relentless drive to succeed. And with those two, the thing that impresses me the most is that while doing that, she's got incredible empathy and care for the people around her, for customers, for employees, for stakeholders. So I think that balance to me is just incredible.
Yeah, and I think that would match the idea of 3Ps, like even without intention. But
Right.
that's exactly the same thing what your mom always does.
Right.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
And at what age did you realize how incredibly talented and what a big hero she actually is?
It's only in the past few years when I actually got to work closely with her that I realized that,
Because I can imagine before, our mom is our mom, right?
Right.
Yeah, we know that she's incredible, she's successful, she's a businesswoman, but we never got to actually see how she like does things in the business situation.
Right. It's amazing to me, you know, that I didn't realize this before. But once I started working, after I graduated from MIT and Harvard, and I came back to work closely with her, I realized that, oh my God, she is incredible. And the things that I studied in school, you know, the books that I read, which are research backed, it's basically what she says. It's basically what she teaches me.
Wow.
And so that's just really incredible. And you know, to know that she came from literally nothing and built this incredible thing.
Wow. That's amazing. You said you've got two persons.
Yes.
Yeah.
The second person, and I think he's a hero for a lot of people, is Steve Jobs. And I'm really impressed by his ability to have a vision, you know, driven by technology on where things should be. And then he's not a technical person per se, but he's able to bring together a group of technical people to drive and execute towards his vision. So I find that to be really amazing. And you know, there's this one great quote that he said, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's basically about how, you know, great skaters and maybe regular skaters in hockey games. But he was saying that great skaters, they're great because they skate to where the puck is going, to not where the puck is. You know, and that's the idea of you got to have a vision of where things are going to be, and you got to be right about that vision. And then you got to create that future, or you got to meet that future, the vision that you see. And I think he's incredible at that.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, if one word to describe myself is actually 3 words, but it's a forward-looking optimist.
Right.
And so I find his abilities to be very inspiring.
So you try to kind of see the future in a way, like predict where things are going to be,
Right.
and you want to go meet things there.
Yeah, or create the future that you see.
Wow, okay. How about one word that you would define Prinsiri if it was a person?
It would be empathetic.
Empathetic. So
Yeah.
Prinsiri would be a very empathetic person.
Yeah, I think as a company, we have very deep empathy for our customers. You know, as an example, I have lived in 3 of our neighborhoods that we developed.
Okay.
And I think that's rare. Like, I think in general, owners do not live in their developments, but I have lived in 3. And I'm currently
By
living
intention?
in intention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm currently living in 1.
I see.
And our family members also live in our projects, spread out
Really?
across Bangkok. Yeah.
Wow.
And we do that for two reasons, right? So one is because we really believe in our products. We designed it, we pour our hearts into it during the design, during the construction of the product. And so we believed in it. And that's why we choose to live in it. And the second reason is because if you don't live in your own products, then you can't really understand what it's like to spend your life in there. And I think that's like probably the best form of empathy is like you're literally putting yourself in your customer's shoes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are there a lot of like knockings on your door? Like,
No,
I've got some
actually,
complaints or I've got some compliments or nice things I have to say to you.
yeah, actually there aren't a lot of complaints.
Okay.
Yeah, to be honest, it's actually, yeah, it's completely fine. Yeah. And living in our own projects, it really guides our thinking. For example, myself personally, having lived in a community with townhouse in it, I knew right away that I had much more friends, much more neighbors in a community that has a townhouse in it. And I use much more of the common areas versus when I'm living in single houses. In single houses, I don't have any friends, as in like our neighbors. And that really guides how we think about when we develop products.
Right.
And another example, we pay a lot of attention to the construction quality, the quality of the structure, the specifications of the structure. And these are things that you do not see, right? But because when people buy a house, usually a lot of people would be able to buy maybe one house in their lifetime. And it's going to be the biggest purchase in their life, the biggest debt in their life, and the longest debt in their life. So we want to make sure that our product is of the highest quality as possible, that it's going to give them the best life possible over the next 30 years. It's going to give them the least amount of headaches. Because the things you can't see, you're not going to see the problem in the next 1 or 2 years, but you'll see problems down the line. And when those problems arise, it's very difficult to fix. And so we pay a lot of attention on those things. And even things that you can see, but maybe you don't notice. So, for example, when you visit a housing project, I don't think a lot of people would go around looking at, hey, how many light bulbs are there? Is there enough light? How many plugs? Where are the plugs? You don't think of these things. But when you actually live in the house, then you start to notice.
Yeah.
Like, hey, why is it so dark here? And you look up and you're like, oh, why is there no light bulb there? Or you're sitting here with your laptop and you want to charge your laptop and you're like, okay, and there's no plug.
Yeah.
And you're like, why are there no plugs? And so, we really think about these things, that things that maybe customers don't know that they need or want yet, but as they spend their life in our houses, then they realize that, hey, this is pretty good. Like they really think ahead for you.
Right. Wow, that's the best. I would love to have this kind of friends near me, like an empathetic one. So by definition, if Prinsiri is a very empathetic person, he or she might see the people so clearly too. So
Right.
if I would like you to give them one word to describe how they are, like the people who live in Prinsiri or your main customer, what would that word be?
It's hard to say it in one word, but I think maybe the word would be family.
Family.
It would be people who choose the best things for their family, when they're making decisions.
Right.
I think that would be our customers. Yeah.
People with the heart and have the heart to go out to their loved ones, their
Yeah.
families.
Yeah.
Okay. Last but not least, I want one quote from you. Like if you can put a word or words or phrase on the wall at your office, what would that quote be? Do you have any at the moment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, well, I mean, I don't have the quote at the
Okay.
back of my wall, but yes, there is a quote that I
Okay.
really like.
Right.
It's work hard, stay humble.
Work hard, stay humble.
And it's actually a play on, the quote that we often hear, which is work hard, play hard.
Right.
But for some reason, that quote, it just never resonated with me. But the first time that I saw this quote, work hard, stay humble, it just hit me, and I just felt like, wow, this is the way. Like this is really good.
So how does humility mean to you?
I think that the thing that informed my experiences regarding this quote is that, during my time at MIT and Harvard, as well as interning at Bain & Company, I got the opportunity to meet and work with really, really smart people. And these people, they are Nobel laureates, the professors, really intelligent. And I discovered that, there are people who are much smarter than you are. They're much more dedicated than you are. They're much more hardworking than you are. They're faster than you. And so you shouldn't think that you're good, because there are always people who are better than you. So you should stay humble. And by being humble, it allows you to listen more, to open up your mindset that because you're not the best, you should listen. By listening, it helps you grow. But I think when you're not humble, when you're arrogant, you kind of stop listening to people. Because you think you're the best. And I think that's how you lose your edge. That's how you become not the best.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think anybody likes arrogant people.
Yeah.
Right? Like arrogant pricks. Yeah.
Because you want to be a talker if you think you're the best person in the room.
Right.
And everybody has to listen to you.
Yes.
And by talking, you're not learning.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. Okay. That's a great quote. I would want that on my wall too.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So คำนี้ดีไหม That's another segment of ours.
Okay.
That would have you rate or score each word. That, of course, all these words are related to who you are somehow. Okay. Why don't I start with the very obvious one? We have touched this word before, family business.
Yes.
Because I mentioned before that actually your mom didn't even want you or didn't ask you to come back and take over Prinsiri, right? But you decided to come back anyway. Back from what? From the jobs and the other positions that you have tried before.
Right.
So why coming back to the family business?
So do I have to give a score?
Yeah. On the scale of 1 to 10.
Probably a 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty high.
Yes, very high. And it's because, so when I was graduating from Harvard and MIT, I had to decide, between going to Bain & Company or coming back to Prinsiri. And Bain & Company it's really great. It's one of the top 3 management consulting companies in the world. And it's maybe one of the top 5 dream destinations for top MBAs, And I really enjoyed my time there. The work is great. Colleagues are great. The pay is great. It's a good package. But the main reason why I decided to come back to Prinsiri is because I saw the opportunity to leverage the company, to use it as a platform to not only create economic value, but to create social and environmental impact. As I mentioned earlier, I'm deeply inspired by the triple bottom line philosophy. And I felt that Prinsiri was perfect for this because its core values, its principles are already aligned with these principles.
It's already there. It's ours. And it's got huge potential.
Right.
Yeah. So that's why you come back. Yeah. And we're glad that you come back.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So how was or how were the works that you have done before coming back to Prinsiri? What have all those jobs teach you?
I think it really helped me tremendously. Experiences in school, in other jobs. One of the things that come to mind, my time during MBA as well as at Bain, it really taught me the importance of being data-driven, the importance of thinking very strategically and thinking very clearly. And I think I really brought that into the company, being very thoughtful about how we use data, how we gather data, and how we make decisions.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So our why for Prinsiri is actually to improve people's quality of life. And we actually measure that. We internally, we use surveys from the UN Quality of Life Survey as well as other surveys to try to find, correlation as well as causation and what we can do to improve people's quality of life. And when we started measuring, people in the company were like, why are we doing this? Like, it seems so far off.
Right.
But I was like, you know what? Our why is to improve people's quality of life. If we don't measure it, how do we know that we're doing this?
Yeah. And was it hard to measure something?
It's very hard.
That is could be very intangible, right?
It's very, very challenging. And the reason is because quality of life surveys, they talk about many, many things that you cannot control. Like you wake up today, do you feel financially secure? And as a company, we don't have direct effect to that. So we learn a lot and we're trying to tailor our metrics to measure things that we can control, like quality of sleep. Do you wake up feeling refreshed?
Okay. Like for somehow you have to quantify it.
Yeah.
So you can say that if it meets the standard.
Right. And this isn't even for marketing. This is just for our internal measurements.
Feng Shui or Huang Zhui, because you're a perfect person to talk about this too or give opinion about this because you're in the business yourself and we cannot see any other like business deals with this thing like real estate or like properties, right? So do you believe in this?
So I believe in aspects of Feng Shui that I can understand the logic and reasoning behind it. But for the parts that I cannot understand yet, I don't disrespect it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't use any Feng Shui, but we just focused on Prinsiri's good residential design principles. For example, airflow, natural light, air spaciousness of the room. And those are the things at Prinsiri we really care about. Because we want to make sure that we design a house where when our customers go in and stay in it, they feel comfortable, they feel relaxed. And it's a place where they can refresh and rejuvenate themselves.
So it has some merits.
Yes.
By itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the way to get to the outcome is different, but it's the same outcome that it gives people a great sense of like being in that place.
Right.
I see.
Right.
Okay.
Interesting fact. So we periodically do customer in-depth interviews. And there's this one customer of us that she mentioned how, when she stood in her house that she bought from us, she could feel the airflow, and then she could see the trees and the leaves move. And the way that the natural light hits her, she said she felt really relaxed and calm and like a really good energy.
Yeah.
And that she was so confident that we hired an expert Feng Shui person to design the house as well as the neighborhood for us. But we didn't.
You didn't.
We simply because we designed for good life, good living.
Right.
But as I mentioned, many of the principles are aligned.
True. Yeah. And maybe it doesn't matter if it's like supernatural or if it's science, but if it gives a great result and gives you great feelings of being there, it completes the job.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Oh, okay. All right. So how about this one? So this is huge. It could be great obstacles for a lot of people. When we face rejections, we mostly feel like we are not worthy. And maybe this is the end of our lives. And it gives no good feelings whatsoever. And I'm sure you have faced some rejections. So I want to know, what does rejection mean to you and how did you get over it?
So 10 for this.
Okay.
So let me tell you my story of rejection. So early in my career, I had this business idea that combines what I really love. So impact businesses, technology, solar technology, residential real estate. So in neighborhoods or in communities that people develop, there's this one problem that usually arises from, especially in the lower to mid-income segments, is that they couldn't collect the common area fee. ค่าส่วนกลาง. And because they couldn't collect it, there's not enough money to maintain the neighborhood. And so the neighborhood, the atmosphere and everything, it deteriorates. Because they cut security guards, they cut gardeners, they cut maintenance people. And it's just not a very good quality of life. So I figured out a way to try to resolve this. And it's essentially to install solar rooftops on top of the entire neighborhood and then sell electricity back to the government, back to the grid, and then use proceeds from there to pay for the maintenance of the project. And that experience is very challenging and very tough.
It sounds like a good plan, right?
Yeah. It's so tough, like internally and externally. Internally, you hear people saying, why are we doing this complicated concept? What is this novel idea? Like, why don't we do the basic stuff well first? Why are we doing this?
Okay.
But that's nothing compared to the external challenges, which is the rules and regulations. And by the way, customers loved it. So we were worried that customers were going to be like, what is this? But they're like, this is great. Like, I love the idea.
Yeah.
But the rules and regulations were really challenging, because at the time there were rules and regulations for solar farms and solar rooftops. But what we did was essentially merge the two together.
Right.
So it was really novel at the time.
So it's not just internal use, domestic use, but it's also for sale.
It's to sell
just to make money too.
100%. That's right.
Okay.
Because internal use doesn't really make sense because solar generates energy during the day and people are usually not home during the day.
I see.
So
okay.
it would sell 100%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And just figuring out the agencies to work with was already a challenge. Like we kept on getting thrown back and forth between agencies. It's like, no, go talk to that agency. No, go talk to that agent. And it's just like bouncing back and forth.
What a headaches.
And by the time we found the agency, we had to work with them, explain this idea. And it was back and forth, explaining, re-explaining. And this was over a few years.
Because they just don't get it.
Because it was just so new. And changing rules and regulations is not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we worked really hard towards that until the final day where they had to give a verdict on whether or not we can do this. And the verdict was no, we couldn't. So they weren't going to adjust any rules for us. And that was devastating because both myself and my team, we worked really hard for several years towards that,
And was it a solid no, like no appeal whatsoever?
Yeah. So the next step would have been to sue the government.
Ooh.
And I actually thought long and hard about that. I was like, maybe we sue the government to restart the conversation.
Okay. So is that something you actually could do?
Yes, you can, but you shouldn't.
Okay. Right. Right.
So I mean, like I got a ton.
So technically you could do it.
Yeah.
But it's not a good idea to do it.
And I didn't know at the time because I was really young.
Okay.
And
So
then-
you actually would.
So we did not sue the government.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
you were thinking about it.
Right. And then we got a lot of recommendations from, people with experience who say, don't do that. Like maybe you can do that in the States. And people do that in the States.
Right.
But in Thailand, if you sue the government, there's no coming back from that.
Right.
So
You'll be on their list forever.
Yeah. Even if you win, they're not going to work with you. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when I decided to stop. And I learned such a big lesson from this. I knew deep inside that if you don't give up, if you don't stop, you can't fail. But this experience really taught me that it's also very important to know when to stop. And that's what I really learned from this.
Right. What a fight. I think you put up a good fight already. But like you said, you need to know when to quit also.
Yeah.
Right. Is it still in the back of your mind somewhere that maybe in the future, if things change, maybe you can pick up where you left off with that project?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
If it makes sense. Yeah. We want to do something that we can really solve our customers' pain points.
Right.
And, this just really felt like something that could improve their quality of life.
Yeah. You always get the best lessons out of bad things that happen in your life, like rejections, heartbreaks, and that all bad things is always the greatest teachers of yours, right?
Yeah, but maybe not so many bad things would be good.
Yeah, not too
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But I'm glad that you got a great lesson out of it too. Yeah, and that's what we can learn from rejection. So don't be too afraid to experience it, and yeah, maybe you give it a try, give it a go, and see what happens. And yeah, maybe one day it could happen. Yeah. So, what makes a house a home, in your opinion?
Okay, so I think that's another great question. So we were talking about spaces, right? Physical space. You notice how like when you move into a new house or a new apartment, and for the first few days or first few weeks, it doesn't really feel like a home, right? It feels like a foreign place.
Right.
But once you start living in it, you start experiencing life in it, all the emotions in it, then it starts to feel like a home. So I feel like the thing that makes a house a home is the experiences, the emotions that you go through when you're living in that space, as well as the physical representation of all of that. For example, a dent in the wall or a stain in the couch.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I think combination of those things are what makes a house a home.
Yeah. There's stories there. There's memories there. Yeah.
And you know, actually, my wife and I, before we moved in, we bought this white couch, so all white. And everyone was like, don't do it. It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
But we're like, but it's so nice.
Right.
You know, like, so we bought it. And we were about to have a baby. So that's like bad idea times 2. Right?
Yeah. Right.
And then when we first used that couch, we're so careful. We're like, don't put your feet up on it. Like, it's going to get it dirty. Careful, you'll spill stuff on it.
Yeah.
You know, but then once we started letting go of all those things, you know, once we're like, you know what, just put your feet up. That's fine.
Yeah.
The baby spills some stuff on it, that's fine. And then over time, you know, the couch is no longer white, but it feels so homey now.
Yeah.
You know, it feels so like a place where you can go to relax versus when it was white, no relaxation at all.
Yeah. It's off white now, but it's ours.
Yes, off-white. Yes, very good way to put it.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun talking to you today. I feel
Thank you.
I know you a lot better, and I know where you stand, what you stand up for, and who you really are. And I'm very impressed. Thank you so much
thank you.
coming to คำดีๆขอบคุณมากๆนะครับ But before we go, of course, I would have to ask about your favorite words. คำดีๆของคุณบอลคือคำว่าอะไรครับ It could be in Thai, could be in English.
So it's actually a quote.
Okay.
It's a magnet on my fridge, and I actually brought it.
You can prepare because you
Yes.
know that I would ask this question.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. It's actually on your fridge.
Yeah, it's actually on my fridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So let me read it.
Okay.
So fame is a vapor, popularity an accident, riches take wings. Those who cheer today may curse tomorrow, and only one thing endures: character.
Oh.
I have Thai translation.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's really good.
Please.
So ชื่อเสียงอาจเลือนหายได้ดังหมอกความนิยมอาจเกิดขึ้นเพียงชั่วคราวทรัพย์สินอาจมาแล้วก็จากไปเสียงปรบมือในวันนี้อาจกลายเป็นความเงียบในวันพรุ่งนี้แต่สิ่งหนึ่งที่ยืนหยัดอยู่ได้เสมอคือตัวตนที่แท้จริงของเรา Oh, and I just felt like it's so good.
Where did you find this?
I don't remember actually.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. But what part specifically that speaks to you?
I think the whole thing really.
Okay.
Like, you know, the idea that fame is a vapor, that it could evaporate anytime.
Right.
So don't put more value to it than you should. And then popularity and accident. So it's kind of like viral clips.
Yeah.
You know, just because you're popular, don't think you're all that. Maybe it's just an accident, like a viral clip accident. And riches take wings. It's like don't define yourself by your wealth because one day it could just all disappear. And the part about those who cheer today may curse tomorrow. It's like don't feel over the moon when people compliment you because tomorrow they might be yelling at you, you know, or they may give you the silent treatment. And what's remaining is actually character. And I think that's so powerful because, you know, it kind of gives you perspective on if you strip a person off, you know, if you strip a person of all those things, what's left? and you want to be sure that what's left is something that's good. You know, you want to be a good person. You want to be an ethical person, caring person, sincere person. You don't want to strip all those things and you're left with a selfish person, an arrogant person. And so this quote, it just speaks so deeply to me, you know, about what's important and what's not.
Yeah, and we have definitely learned all about your characters today. And I think I know you're a CEO, you're a guest, but I would want you to be my friend because I had a great time talking to you today. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.